boy. It's safe to say over the last couple days, the garage has gotten just a little bit out of control. But for the last 6 months, I think we can all agree that the videos have been a lot brighter, felt a lot just nicer, cleaner, and even right now, like, yeah, it's dirty right here, but it doesn't look dirty when I go like this on the floor. But if you guys actually look, like, there is piles of dirt all over the floor right now. If you guys are unfamiliar, just about 6 months ago, we DIY epoxied these floors. So there's a full video series, I will link down below, you guys can check that out. But today I wanted to go over kind of how they're standing up, give you guys kind of like a real life example. That's why this is so dirty. And you guys had a bunch of concerns when we first laid down the floor, and I actually had some of my own concerns. So I kind of want to touch on how they're going, because I fucked up the floors. I made it 6 months, I fucked them up. I'm not happy about it, but I'm gonna show you guys kind of how I messed them up. I'm gonna show you guys my little DIY fix and just kind of go over everything, because like I said, I've been doing basically daily use in this garage for about 6 months, because even on days where I'm not filming or whatever, you can see I got like my snow blower in here, and it comes in here covered in snow, and I just put it in here and it leaves a little rust line on the floor. So I've been abusing this place pretty good for the last 6 months, way more than the average person was. So if you're just trying to put this in your house, I think this will give you like a really good idea. We finished this up in about October, and right now it's about midway through March. So this has gone through a Canadian winter season, which is the part that I was scared about the most. This is what the floors are looking like right now after 6 months and dirty. I've honestly mopped them probably about once a month. But these things see a lot of water and a lot of salt. Now my big concern with the wet was that the floors used to sweat a lot, like a lot. And I was really worried that getting water on top of this might, you know, start some sweating from underneath and start to cause some peeling up issues. So I've been washing my Jeep about once a week. I've been filming a lot of videos on it, and I've been daily driving as well, and it just sometimes it looks absolutely nasty. What I'll do is I'll wash it outside, I'll spray it all down, and then I'll drive it in here and just let it drip dry, because that's like the best option when it's minus 15 degrees outside. This area right here, like this is all water running out. You can see another stream of water running out right here. And I have my little squeegee over here because water tends to build up in these corners. So far, so good with the water situation, which is nice because like I said, right now it's about 55 degrees in here, which isn't that warm, but that's kind of what I keep it at when I'm not in here, not working. So it fluctuates up and down. It gets wet, it gets hot, it gets cold. Really has not a very consistent pace in here. And so far it's good. The other thing I was worried about, as you guys can see, this little baseboard stuff I put on, the caulking has all cracked at the bottom, which is kind of expected now that, ooh, that was disgusting. Kind of expected since it's cold. And the wood doesn't go right to the floor on the wall. So there's a little bit of a soft spot there. So it's expected that it'll move, and you can see it's kind of yuck. I'm gonna have to recaulk that, but just that cracking had me really worried about some of the cracks in the floor, which actually have been fine. You can see right here, this is really the only spot you can still see it, because if you guys remember when we did the floors, we thought this was level, and it was just unlevel enough that you can still see it a little bit, which is a little brutal. But I mean, it's not bad. If you guys remember before, this whole area was covered in cracks and you can't see any of it anymore. You only see this little spot. So yeah, this is where you would notice, I guess, any sort of stretching or anything like that first. I mean, it might happen eventually, but over the course of the winter and the hot cold, that's when it's really, really the most prone to happening. And the best part is this isn't porous at all. So you can just kind of like sweep most of it up. The only parts that stick are any parts that had any kind of like salt. You can see where there's salt because it does this little weird ring thing. It's disgusting, but it's a really good example. Courtney's gonna kill me if I keep using our house mop to do this, but I literally, this is 99% hot water. I put the tiniest drop of all-purpose cleaner in. This is all I use to clean the floors, and it works so well. So you can see, especially after I swept, all these road salts are just brutal. You can see them all kind of hidden all over the place. The floors, the glossiness does a really good job of hiding the white, which is like the saltiness on camera. But what's absolutely wicked is no matter what it is, it'll come up like absolutely nothing. Look at that. That big salt chunk I was showing you right there, gone. And it's not just like it wipes off the dirt, dude, like that's smooth. So the worst part before was that nothing ever wanted to come out of the concrete. Everything always wanted to be one with the floor. Whoa, you guys are dirty. Everything always wanted to be one with the concrete. It always wanted to sink in and stay forever. And these, if you were to leave something to rust on the floor before, it would never, ever, ever come out. Like it's so hard. That and oil were the two things that were just brutally hard to get out. And now, you go ahead to a rust spot like that, you don't even have to mop it, dude. It just comes out. So honestly, for no reason other than even just the cleaning, this RustOleum floors that we did in here are 100% worth it just for the ease of cleaning everything up. can really tell a difference from before to after, but dude, it's just so glossy and bright. Anyways, now that it's all cleaned up, I'm gonna show you guys like a couple little areas. The most high traffic areas basically that I use are obviously right in front of the workbench, toolbox area, and then like this front section. I usually work on vehicles on this side. I do pull them in over here. Before I moved it out, you had a very physical line that you could see where I was pulling in and pulling out, and there was like big dirt stains and whatever. But once it's gone, there's really nothing to note here on the ground, like as far as you would never know where I actually pulled in or out. It's actually doing a really good job. And as far as dullness, like if you take a spot right here, these are drop anchors for my pipe bender. I just put earplugs in them so that it kind of blends into the floor. I know someone's gonna see that Naz. But if you take a spot like right here, I probably don't ever step on this. All you're gonna see is like some lines from whatever, when I sweep or from when I mop or whatever, but you can see that like the texture here, this is probably just a stain from when I just mopped. Yeah, it is. That's just a fresh mop stain, but you can see like right there is just hella shiny, really nice. If you go somewhere like right here, right in front of this, where I do some welding and some grinding and that kind of stuff, it's honestly not much worse. There's a little bit of, you know, surface scratch, but it's not bad. Like it's still glossy, it still looks great. Nothing to complain about, which is really awesome. And you can actually do like a full clean. I know some people do like a polish on their floors, but I'm not gonna try to polish these floors all the time. I'm not obsessed with, like it looks beautiful right now. I don't feel the need to polish it until it actually needs it. But moving on, you guys can tell that I'm really excited about how easy this stuff cleans up and everything. I have messed it up a couple times, and here are the things that are the most dangerous for this floor specifically is wheels. Wheels and rocks. Now that sounds dumb. My driveway is all rock. I got crush poured in here last spring. It's like a paving prep, so it's all really, really small. And every time I pull a vehicle in or out, when it's not snowing, obviously, rocks come in and out. You guys saw earlier that little pile of stuff I vacuumed was like 99% rocks. Which is no biggie. But the only thing that I found that messes up this floor is this stupid roller. I love this thing. But what happens is you don't see the rock because you're laying on it, you're sliding. Most of them are over here because this is kind of like underneath the front. That's a good one. Right there. Rocks. I don't know why, but rocks seem to be the one thing that really just get through this. It's not into the gray, it's actually still in the clear. That rocks getting stuck under wheels has been the biggest thing with the roller or even the floor jack. That does scratches. That's the only thing I've really found that scratches it. Like I said, I've been working in here for about 6 months. I've dropped a ton of shit on here. Done a bunch of grinding over here, some welding over here, and nothing from the grinding or welding, surprisingly, has penetrated the floor at all. The floor over here is actually really nice. Now, as for the spot I fucked up. This was an honest mistake. I have chipped the floor twice before this. This one was definitely the worst. Okay, so that's the main spot. You guys can see all these little scratches, and then if it'll focus on these, there's all these little ones all around it, and 2 more chunks, I guess 3 more chunks right there. There you go. So if you zoom out, you'll lose most of it, but this was so dumb. I had my Jeep in here. I had it pushed over because we were trying to lift the roof rack up on. And when I got in, I started it, and before it was rolling, I turned the wheel because it was really close to here. And right when I did it, I was like, because I know there's rocks in it from the driveway because the snow is melting, so the rocks are showing. And sure enough, there was rocks directly under the tire, and when I turned it, it just, the weight of the Jeep on top of the rocks just carved in. I've done this 2 other times, not this way. This was a real stupid one. But I have a sort of solution for this. If you guys look right here in front of my feet, one of these spots is a chip fix replacement or whatever you want to call it. I dropped the leaf spring on here, okay? Right here, if you look, that one you can tell because I only did 1 layer, that's a patch. But when you stand back, even in person, you can't see it at all. Like it's I know where it is, but no one would come in here and find this. So now there is ways to go about permanently fixing these floors. I work in here every day almost. So for me to go ahead and do like a lengthy fix on this right now doesn't make sense. I'm thinking maybe once a year, once every 2 years. You can just basically, you mix up like the clear from the floor, put a little bit down, put some flake in it if you want to like blend it in, and then just put a little bit more over top. That's at least the process that I've seen some people been doing. And then it just kind of seals everything in and it's good to go. It's the same material. As long as it didn't flake up because it didn't stick, you should be able to get away with that method. If it peeled up, it just flaked up because like you didn't cover an oil spot properly, then you're on your own. You guys saw when we did the floors initially that the product comes in a package that you kind of like pop both sides together, shake it all up. And that actually does about 1/3 of the floor's coverage. So it's extremely wasteful for us to go ahead and mix up an entire bag of that stuff just to repair one little spot. And you can get like repair kits, but there's still a lot more in it than what I need for these tiny little areas. So that's why I'm trying to show you guys like a temporary quick fix to keep it going if it's only a small spot. It would be extremely wasteful to go ahead and use the actual product right now, and not to mention expensive if you wanted to do that every single time you found a chip. What I've been doing oh my God, this drawer is a mess, is using this boy. Trusty old Mazda white. Oh, right here. That's this one. And this one is in a real high traffic area. I just put, focus, this is I fill it, and then obviously you gotta let it dry, but then I come around again, I fill it, I overlap onto the gray. And what it does is it doesn't let, you can't pick this up anymore, because when you get a fresh chip, this is gonna wanna flake up, right? So what I'm gonna do is just pick anything that wants to flake up like that, so that it's not there anymore. The problem is you don't want anything to ever catch this, right? So what I do, it's literally so easy. And this isn't gonna interfere, like paint is actually really adhesive. So if we ever wanted to go over this, we could just give it like a light prep job or nothing at all and just put the epoxy on and we should be fine. If you guys are super butthurt because you just messed up your floors, just go grab a paint pen that's any color. It could be blue, black, the gray, the white, anything that's in your flake, and just give this a nice ooze. The first one's gonna dry and just kind of soak right in anyways. But see how I like push it around the outside there? Make sure it's super thick, very wet. Just leave it. It's gonna dry, it's gonna kind of flatten out a little bit, go around, do a second coat. And not only does that encapsulate like the edges from being picked up and flaked, but you'd never notice it. Like now, honestly, if you look right now, that looks like a flake and then that looks like a chip. I just wanted to show you guys that you can fix this with like a $5, whatever it is, paint pen for super cheap. And yeah, it's not the proper, I guess, fix. It's no longer epoxy there, but nothing is gonna peel it up. It's never gonna get under there like paint. If you put paint on a concrete floor, good luck trying to get it up. And since we have it out, I'm gonna go back and fill this one that I showed you guys because this one's kind of yuck. I don't think I ever did a second layer. But you can see like this time, it's just gonna fill it right up to the surface, which is nice. Boom. But like I said, at the end of the day, the vibes have been so much higher in here. It feels so much more like a lab than like a garage. It's more like shop feeling. It's super nice. I'm really happy with it. I'll leave a link down below for you guys to check out the video for all the products and stuff that we used because they're in the link in that video. Before I let you go, I just want to say like this video if you guys want to see another garage build because you can see all this stuff here is not really supposed to be here. That's all stuff that's usually inside my house, but I've been filming with it recently, so it's outside. And this is like my shop, right? That's kind of the vibe, the space I want it to be. But I do have my front garage, which is a complete show. It was never finished when the house was built, and it's just kind of studded and it's decently wide. Like I got 2 cars in there right now and the bench that used to be here when we initially built the garage. I want to make that more into like a garage. So to me, this is a shop where I do work. I want to make that one into like a garage where I keep like my camping stuff and I build like a lift for my hardtop for my Jeep or for my rooftop tent if I get one or whatever, you know what I mean? Kayak holders, all that kind of stuff. I want to turn that into like a sweet garage with garage vibes, not car vibes, but garage vibes. So that's what I'm trying to do. Make sure you guys like this video if you guys want to see that happen because that's something that I'm actually really kind of into doing now before summer comes so that I can use it and get some good use out of it during the summer. And we also have a full epoxy kit for that front garage. Completely different than this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, make sure you guys like this if you want to see another garage build. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Stay committed.